Yeah. Alrighty, welcome Grenada, Carrico, Peter Monica, and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live. We do want to apologize for the little hiccup in the start of the program, but we are here with you and we are ready for another program. It is always my pleasure to come on the program to discuss what's making the news, and of course it is my pleasure to say thank you for choosing Mikey Live. I know that there are so many other things that you could have been doing tonight, but instead you are here with us to check out what's making the news. So let's get right into it. Now, no one hurt in major landslide. Stabbing incident in Tivoli. Reports of escaped prisoner. Woman charged for stealing winning lotto ticket. St. George's resident charged for failing to give notice, and that's a very interesting report that we want to share with you. And Grenada taking steps to prevent an outbreak of dengue. Prisoners in Trinidad and Tobago, that is, protect prison officers as inmate riot. That's a very interesting story as well. And pension gratuity negotiations to continue tomorrow. Folks, we want to thank you for joining us on the program tonight. We want to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International. Now, we are coming back, and of course the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10. Now, when we come back, it's real news in Ole Lili Lolo. So stay tuned, we'll be back.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Is back. Grenada National Stadium, the West Indies Championship Regional 4-day tournament, Thursday, January 17th to the 20th, 2019, as the Windward Islands Volcanoes take on Jamaica Scorpions, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily at the Grenada National Stadium. Admission $10. Comes to the likes of Devon Smith, Sherman Lewis, Josh Thomas, Roland Cato, amongst the regional stars. Remember, cricket action is back at the Grenada National Stadium, January 17th to the 20th, 2019. Come shout and support your team.
He's hit that one.
Don't miss a ball.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Yeah, thank you very much. And folks, again, we would like to officially welcome everyone to tonight's program. And for those of you who are new to the program, again, folks, the regular viewers, I would like you to extend to them very warm welcome. All right, yeah, very warm welcome to all the newcomers of the program, boy, you know. Yes, all right, so folks, I think it is time for us to get right into the news for tonight. And as customary, housekeeping matters, we want to invite you to share the program. You see, only when you share the program, other people get to see what's happening here. All right. So if it's not too much to ask of you, please go ahead and hit the share button. It's not going to interrupt anything at all. Earlier, the burning issue concerning the rate of pension gratuity payments on retirement to public officers will again be on the table. That will be tomorrow, God's willing, Friday. Now, last evening, the folks from the Grenada Union of Teachers, they held their little meeting at the Grenada Boys Secondary School, folks, and a lot of things were mentioned. Now, as it relates to the negotiating table, Lydan Lewis said, which is the president of the GUT, that it is the final time that they are going to be going to the negotiation table.
Well, nothing has happened much in terms of getting around the table, and I can safely tell you that the members resoundingly said that this meeting on Friday would be our last meeting. We're not going back around the table. We felt that we were not treated fairly, and that the utterances by both the Prime Minister and the leader of the pension government team suggest that we will not get what we want or what we deserve from the table. Therefore, teachers are cognizant of that, and they've instructed us not to return after Friday's meeting.
The outcome of which we would see or learn about, say, within the next 24 hours or so. Government continues to say that it cannot afford to pay the 25% that the teachers are demanding. Now, people, Grenada highly rated for proportion of female parliamentarians, and that was actually a release we got from the government today. According to them, they say that Grenada is highly rated among countries worldwide for the proportion of women in parliament. Now, 7 of Grenada's 15 parliamentarian representatives, the equivalent of about 47%, are women. Now, 4 women also serve among the current group of senators. You understand? And so they are saying that, hey, you don't get that anywhere else. These are good numbers. Women are involved in the decision-making process. You understand? And the government of Grenada wanted to highlight that. You understand? So, there you go. We want to say thank you to the GIS for sharing that information with us. You understand? We're moving on. How are we looking? Earlier, overnight, something happened on the western side of the island. Very interesting. There was a landslide. Now ask me if there was any rain so much for that kind of landslide. I don't know. But folks, check this out. This happened in the Whitegate area. What you're actually looking at is the road. This is the western side of the island. This is the road, people. Now, one of the things that we have to say really is thank God. Thank God that no one got hurt in this incident. Now, according to reports, this landslide was there and lasted, well, it was there across the road and hindered traffic for about 2 hours. Nothing could have passed in that area. You understand? But when I saw this, I'm like, whoa. We really have to thank God that no one was passing, whether it be by foot or driving, when this landslide came down. You understand? That is the area, if you're coming to Guave, right after you passed Grand Roy, just about a minute drive from Grand Roy on your way to Guave, exactly that area. It is not the first time you have debris and stuff coming down from there, but actually this time now it was very huge. Yeah, the guys did a really good job trying to clear the debris. Yes, and so when they were successful, they were actually able to clear one lane first, and then took a little rest, something like that, and then they did the other side. You understand? So we have to say good job to these guys. They were out working like 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and so on this. All right. So yeah, we cannot ignore the efforts and say really thanks to them for working so quickly on clearing the debris in the road, and that again is in Whitegate in St. John. We are moving on. How are we looking for time, folks? The next thing we have to tell all you about, boy, there has been a stabbing incident in St. Andrew. You know, this is just a file photo. All right. We got the information this afternoon from one of our sources up there, who claims that the incident happened somewhere in the Tivoli area. They say that there might have been some altercation between two men, and the report that we had was that both men received some form of injuries, stab wounds to be exact. One was more in a critical condition than the other. Yeah. We also obtained some names and some, but we're not going to get into that for now because we were not able to get a verification, you know. But one of our sources told us that the persons were taken to the hospital, and on the way to the hospital, one of the persons who was stabbed, they were responsive and so on. You understand? So at least that's good. But guys, that's not a good way to start the year. Just saying, you know, we got to fix ourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got to fix ourselves. Folks, the next thing that we have to tell you about is that we are getting word of an escaped prisoner. All right, and the police wants you to be on the lookout. All right. Now the report is that this inmate escaped lawful custody sometime this afternoon. His name was given as Hayden Phillip of Grand Dance. All right. They say he is a known criminal. All right, and the circumstances surrounding his escape is still a bit sketchy, but we were told that the authorities are working hard to have him captured. All right, of course, as customary, I'm sure we will receive some information on that, more information in fact on that tomorrow, God's willing. On the lighter side of things, we want to let you know that the Prime Minister 11 is going to play on Friday at the SSU grounds. Cricket we're talking about. So they say that the Prime Minister cricket team will be coming up against the Indian community. The march is scheduled for 1 p.m. at the SSU grounds. All right. So for persons who wants to go to that thing, no problem. Oh yeah, the government has sent out a press release by labeled "Government urges Grenada Union of Teachers to follow proper procedures for meeting with membership during working hours." Very interesting release, you know, people. Very interesting release. Now, listen to this. Government is urging the Grenada Union of Teachers to follow proper procedure when desirous of meeting with their membership during regular working hours. Now, they are saying here, listen, the proper procedure should be a request submitted by the union to the employer seeking permission for teachers to be granted leave during the regular working hours. It says here that government's concern comes against the backdrop of Wednesday's meeting organized by the GUT. Now, hold on, take all the time. Take all the time, listen to it. Instead of seeking the requisite permission to meet with members during working hours, the GUT only notified the Ministry of Education of its intention through correspondence addressed to the Chief Education Officer. Follow me? Listen to this now. Government reiterates that permission must be sought for any meeting between public officers and the trade unions that takes place during the working day. Now it says that this is usually a provision in collective bargaining agreements signed between employers and the trade unions. It has been recognized that in contrast to the actions of the GUT, the Public Workers Union has traditionally requested permission from government when seeking to meet with its members. It goes on to say that permission for such meetings is usually granted from 3 p.m. so that the workday is not significantly disrupted, while at the same time allowing employees, their employer, and bargaining agent to maintain good labor relations. It goes on to say that government notes with concern that teachers were off the job from 12 noon on Wednesday to attend the meeting set for 1 p.m. The concern stems from the fact that the nation's students were again deprived of valuable instruction time, and parents were forced to find appropriate supervision for their children during a 2 to 3 hour window during which they would normally be in school. All right, read between the lines. You telling me? So your boy like drama. Next story. Woman charged for stealing winning lotto ticket. I ain't staying here long. I'm going to rest my head. A woman alleged to have stolen a winning lottery ticket in the sum of $10,200 has been granted bail. Now, charges of stealing and conspiring to steal one winning lotto ticket or lottery ticket, the property of the National Lotteries Authority, was laid against Renee Charles, a 26-year-old cashier of Waltham in St. Mark. Now, Charles will appear in court on February 19, 2019, after having been granted $50,000 bail with 2 sureties. Now, the offenses are alleged to have been committed between November 26, 2018 and December 1st, 2018. How are we looking for time? Some of all of those shiny program we go tie up. Big up to the viewers on WPG10. And if you're viewing on WPG10 right now, send me a text message and I will reward 2 persons with some free credit compliments Digicel. You can send me a WhatsApp or something, 414-9995. We're moving on. This is a very interesting story, one that I don't think I've ever read before. A 73-year-old St. George's resident, so we're talking about a very ageable person, right? An elderly, if we will. A 73-year-old St. George's resident has been arrested and charged for setting fire without giving notice. Did you hear that? Unheard of. But the police, I believe, is trying to send a message. A 73-year-old charged for setting fire without giving notice. Right? Now, the charge was laid against Eric Gill, a mechanic of Montgay, on Wednesday, 9th January 2019. So that was yesterday. Now, Gill, who has been placed on $2,000 bail, will appear at the St. George's Magistrates Court on March 12, 2019 to answer to the charge. Now, the fire department of the Royal Grenada Police Force is reminding persons that Section 147(1) of the Criminal Code, Cap 72A, Volume 4 of the 2010 Continuous Revised Laws of Grenada requires every person who intends to set fire or to cause a fire to be set to give notice to all their neighbors. Did you know that? That you are required by law, if you are to set a fire within the neighborhood, that you inform your immediate neighbors. Persons are also reminded that permission is required by law before setting agriculture fires. So the difference is, for residential fires or fires within residential areas, you inform your neighbors. For agricultural fires, you have to inform the police, in particular the fire department. Now, the fire department wishes to inform all persons that it will take a zero tolerance approach to the setting of agriculture fires. Now, remember, in previous years, to the credit of the police force, they have been talking about this law. They have been on radio, they have been on TV talking about this. In 2019, we are hearing that it is expected to be a drier than normal dry season. The police is therefore taking a proactive approach and at least letting people know that if this is what you're going to do, this will be the result of it. All right? Rather interesting. Unfortunately, Grandpa had to pay for it. But, you know, the police, they're enforcing the law and they're trying to send a message. Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean, achieves historic milestone with well over 500,000 visitor arrivals in 2018. Olia, give us a clap, no man. Grenada, nice. Give us a clap. We're doing things. We're doing the business. You understand? Not many people can boast of this. So, Olia, I would like you to join me in congratulating the team at the Grenada Tourism Authority. Give them a clap in the business. Don't play all the playing stoosh. All the give them people a clap in the business. You understand? You don't hear numbers. According to a press release, with these record numbers, the destination maintains double-digit growth across key source markets. You're telling me? Ollie, we pretty. And so we are going to share this whole business with all you on the website too, so all could go see the figures. Yeah? They said that Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean, achieved a historic milestone in 2018, welcoming more than 500,000 visitors in the destination shores. Yeah? Spread across key niche markets, the combined cruise, yachting, and stayover arrivals for 2018 was 528,077, representing a 12.90% increase over 2017. I ain't making it up. You understand? We ain't making it up. That is the business we're talking about, people. Grenada, nice. All say it with me, no man. Grenada, nice. They say that a strong performance was recorded in stayover arrivals with an increase of, hear this, 9.97%, moving from 146,375 to 160,970 visitors, with special mention given to the bumper Christmas season, in which a growth of 17% was recorded. Somebody say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Grenada, nice. You understand? That is the business for tonight. That's the motto for tonight. You understand? Let's go again. 3, 2, 1. Grenada, nice. You understand? We're doing business. We're moving on. You understand? So only hear this. In addition to all this good news, they have launched a shopping video. Now, according to them, it's intended to create awareness and showcase everything Grenadian, to highlight our people and our businesses, showcasing the quality of products that we have here in the business, with a possibility as well and an intention to increase potential revenue for the industry. You understand? So they launch a business. And before I go there, can all say it with me together? 3, 2, 1. Grenada, nice. And that was a small clip from the video. I'll give them a clap, no man. What it is, boy. You know what I mean? So all go traveling, and there's a strong likelihood that you will be seeing that somewhere. Or yeah, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, Grenada. We promised we could talk to somebody. We talking to somebody. The Ministry of Health here, boy, say that they're monitoring what's happening locally and regionally to protect our population as it relates to dengue. According to the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. George Mitchell, there's an upsurge of dengue in some of the neighboring countries. And as a result, the Ministry of Health, they have decided to implement some strategic interventions. He speaks of such.
The Ministry of Health continues to be vigilant in terms of what is happening both locally and regionally to safeguard our population from any health occurrences. And so we are monitoring the situation in the region to find that there are an upsurge in cases of dengue in a few countries, inclusive of Jamaica, Martinique, etc. So as our responsibility, we decided to up our game where that is concerned, meaning that we decided to up our preventative measures, education, and some strategic interventions, mainly fogging and the setting up of larvicides in areas where we know, based on our surveillance, that we have a high indices of mosquitoes. So basically, for the time being, this is our strategy. We are monitoring the situation. Our dengue cases have been minimal in the last few months of the year. So we've been doing a good job at that, but we don't want to be taken with our pants or caught with our pants down. So we are trying to ensure that the mosquito population is not there, so that if, for example, that new strain of dengue is introduced into Grenada, the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is the vector, is not present to transmit it. So that is our strategy going forward.
All right, and Dr. Mitchell says that that there are different strains of the dengue, and when there are new strains, it has the possibility or the potential to spread like wildfire among the population.
From time to time, there are 4 strains of dengue. Dengue 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so from time to time you have variation. And what happens is that if one of the strains that are circulating in another country enters here, then the population find it sort of like we have a naive population, and so the impact is much more. This is similar to what happened in the case of Zika and chickpea, that although they are both mosquito-borne diseases, the population was not basically new to the population, and so it spread like wildfire. In the cases of dengue, we have circulating dengue in Grenada. Dengue is endemic here. But whenever sort of like new strains or combination of strains are reintroduced, then the population find it naive and it spreads quite a bit.
All right, thank you, Doc, for that. The doctor also is appealing to the public to do whatever you can to ensure that the breeding sites of mosquitoes are, to a great extent, minimized. And
Mikey, what we want to emphasize is that we do have a responsibility as the Ministry of Health, but individuals, our population, we are calling on them to do what they can to ensure that the breeding sites for mosquitoes do not exist, are minimized, because that is the key to controlling the mosquito population. If the mosquitoes don't find sites to breed, then they cannot multiply. That is the key message going out there.
Mm-hmm. So that is getting rid of the 2 tires and buckets and drums and so on within the area?
All receptacles that can hold water, particularly clean water, around the house. That is key, because the Aedes aegypti mosquito is what we call the type of mosquito that loves around dwellings and around population. They love to live in that kind of environment. So creating that environment for them is actually creating the problem.
Mm-hmm. And, thank you very much, Dr. George Mitchell. He's the Chief Medical Officer. All right. Thank you very much for giving us the time to discuss this earlier. You know what was very interesting today? A piece of information that we got coming out of Trinidad. Inmates at the remand yard of the Golden Grove prison rushed to the defense of a group of prison officers who were being attacked by other inmates on Wednesday. That is something you don't hear every day. No, they say that the prisoners didn't waste no time. Remandees of the north wing of the prison were taken into the exercise yard between 10 and 11 a.m. to allow cells to be sprayed with when officers of the prison services emergency response unit decided to conduct an impromptu search. As a result, inmates began rioting, throwing objects at the officers. They say that 4 officers were injured in the fracas. However, the 11 who were involved were sent to the infirmary as a precautionary measure. Now they are saying that when all these things going on, you had inmates who went to the rescue of the officers. Now this is significant, and I'll tell you why. In the past few years, there have been this issue of prison officers being attacked. Prison officers being attacked by inmates, prison officers being killed in the vehicles, out in public. I ain't making it up. And now you're hearing that inmates, are coming to the aid of prison officers. Now that is something, my friends, you don't get to hear every day. You know, you just get a lot of terrible, the good, the bad, and the ugly coming out of Trinidad. This time, nothing so. Kudos to you. Now we did say to you, for persons who were accustomed to viewing the program, that we have implemented some changes for 2019, and so we will not be having the doctor for a while. Okay, we are working on something to soon be launched. All right. No, I ain't telling you what it is. Wait, take all the time. I ain't telling you what it is. Okay, take all your time. What else do I have you? We can't confirm, but we received information that there was an accident in Grand Roy. We go look into that, and not in Grand Roy, not in Grand Anse. We're gonna look into that, and probably we will tell you more about it. We have also received some messages from so many viewers are open a can of worms on WPG10. So big up to the people who are viewing via WPG10. So what we have is the weather. What we have is the national report. There are some stories that I didn't bring now because it's going to come at the in the national report. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a break, and when we come back, folks, we will have for you the national report.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules, because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your QuickPick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
Replace, upgrade, or treat yourself to something new. Yes, you can with Quartz Ready Finance. Shop today and pay nothing until March 2019. Low monthly payments, flexible terms, and the assurance that your payments are protected against unforeseen events. Get what you need now with nothing down. Yes, you can with Quartz Ready Finance. Quartz, bringing value home.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Oh yeah, these are there are special conditions that would apply. All right, now folks, it is now time for the national report.
Grenada receives another shipment of biodegradable multi-use products. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, January 10th, I'm Delroy Lozon. Grenada has just received the second shipment of biodegradable multi-use products as the country makes the transition from plastic and styrofoam as part of efforts to preserve its environment. The ban on styrofoam and single-use plastic bags took effect in September last year. The government is partnering with the private sector to provide what is called a healthier and safer option for the country. One of its partners, Independence Agencies Limited, held a launch on Thursday as the company now readily supplies biodegradable products to supermarkets, hotels, and small businesses across the island. Climate Resilience and Environment Minister Senator the Honorable Simon Steele says government will continue to collaborate with regional and private partners to ensure non-biodegradable products are reduced.
The government's role within this is creating that environment where there could be a smooth transition from the non-biodegradable to biodegradable products, and we have done that through the passing of this progressive legislation. But in terms of the implementation, there are carrots and sticks involved within the incorporated within the legislation. But it's important that there is a sense of cooperation between government agencies, and the private sector to actually make this happen.
Independence Agencies has partnered with U.S. companies, Tropical Trading and World Centric, to import the alternative products. The companies make use of sugarcane, bamboo, plants, and wheatgrass to make cups, bowls, containers, trays, straws, and other utensils. Their representative Steve Ross says all the products are FDA approved with a short compost life cycle.
The cold cups and the cold containers, straws, 3 to 6 months, gone. And any of the utensils that are heat resistant, that are a little more durable and tough, those are going to take 3 to 6 months to compost completely. And then you've got bags, the plastic bags, we can't forget those, and kitchen bags, 2 to 4 months, because they're very thin, and those will be made out of materials which are organic, either potato starch, corn, or some mixture of the two. Cassava, they're making cassava bags now, which we're going to be bringing in, and those samples are up there as well. You could feel the bag. It almost is a identical feel to a plastic bag, but it's not.
Chief Executive Officer of Independence Agencies, Ken Sylvester, is happy that his company is an agent of change.
We are happy to be involved as one of the leaders in trying to change the way things are done and to change the environmental waste that is happening as a result of the foam and plastics that we're seeing around.
Government is urging the Grenada Union of Teachers to follow proper procedure when desirous of meeting with its membership during regular working hours. It says the proper procedure should be a request submitted by the union to the employer seeking permission for teachers to be granted leave during the regular workday. Government's concern comes against the backdrop of Wednesday's meeting organized by the GUT. Instead of seeking the requisite permission to meet with members during work hours, the GUT only notified the Ministry of Education of its intention through correspondence addressed to Chief Education Officer. Government reiterates that permission must be sought for any meeting between public officers and trade unions that takes place during the workday. This is usually a provision in collective bargaining agreements signed between employers and trade unions. It has been recognized that in contrast to the actions of the GUT, the Public Workers Union has traditionally requested permission from government when seeking to meet with its members. Permission for such meetings is usually granted from 3 p.m. so that the workday is not significantly disrupted, while at the same time allowing employees, their employer, and bargaining agent to maintain good labor relations. Government notes with concern that teachers were off the job from 12 noon on Wednesday to attend the meeting set for 1 p.m. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Big business don't participate.
"45 years of being an independent nation is indeed a milestone and must be proudly celebrated. The theme chosen for this occasion is a reflection of our strength and our commitment to transformational change."
That was Chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee, Mr. John Williams, as he spoke at the launch of Grenada's 45th Independence Anniversary celebrations on Thursday. Building resilience and enhancing social and economic transformation is the theme used for the 45th anniversary. Mr. Williams is encouraging all to showcase their patriotism by beautifying their villages with the national colors and participating in planned activities.
I now wish to encourage the people on this beautiful and enchanting tri-island of ours to continue to support the efforts that have helped to strengthen our traditions, values, and principles that have guided us these past 45 years.
Culture Minister Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox is proud of the patriotism shown by Grenadians.
This is how we see and view the celebration of our independence. It is something that we cherish dearly and holds a deep sense of pride and accomplishment with every passing year for all Grenadians. This year is no different. As such, this year's theme truly reflects and defines the journey of our beloved country. The theme for this year's celebration is celebrating 45 years, building resilience, and enhancing social and economic transformation. Our celebration of independence represents a historical transect of our nation's existence. It represents our nation's core values and the way of life as a people. It represents our story of overcoming adversity.
And finally in the news, Grenada is highly rated among countries worldwide for the proportion of women in Parliament. 7 of Grenada's 15 parliamentary representatives, the equivalent of about 47%, are women. 4 women also serve among the current group of senators. At the post-election seminar facilitated by the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, which wrapped up here today, Director of Operations Mr. Jarvis Matias said Grenada is ranked 5th out of 190 legislatures around the world by the Inter-Parliamentary Union for Women's Representation in elected seats. He further noted that of parliaments across the Commonwealth, Grenada is second only to Rwanda for gender balance. The commendable statistic resonates well with Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, who acknowledged that the power of women is recognized globally, but here in Grenada, that power takes on extra significance.
The power of women is recognized globally, but I think here in Grenada, that power takes on an extra significance. It was only in 1990 that we appointed our first female president of the Senate, but today we have 4 female senators. 7 of our elected parliamentarians are in fact women. This figure gives us one of the highest percentage, as was articulated before, in a parliament of the Commonwealth, and worldwide also.
That story has brought us to the end of the National Report for Thursday, 10th January 2019. Recapping today's top story in the news, Grenada receives another shipment of biodegradable multi-use products. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I'm Delroy Lozan, thanking you for joining us.
Alrighty, thank you then. Alright, somebody's telling me that they would have lost somewhere within the vicinity of $820 today on a white Grand Dance bus. They say that they would have lost their money this morning. It's a brown Levi wallet with a red tag. They have 3 teller cards and 2 identification cards there. They say they cannot remember the license plate of the vehicle of the bus, but it was driven by a Rasta. On the ID, you will see Deshaun Julian. Okay, and so it's a white Grand Dance bus, and the person said they had about $820 in that wallet. It's a brown Levi wallet with a red tag, telecards and IDs, and the name on the ID is Deshaun Julian. Of course, if you have the wallet or whatever, you can just send me a message, or you can search for Deshaun on social media and organize the business. All right. What else do I have to tell you? I see some people are saying that they're viewing via WPG10, so big up all the whole self. All right. What we have for you right now, folks, is the weather boy. Ooh, boy, the place was cold this morning. These days the place nice and chilly, you know, waking up early in the morning to do a night like a jog. Yeah, boy, not bad at all, you know, not bad at all. Okay, so you've seen the current temperature on your screen in degrees Celsius, and let's take a look at tonight's weather. Well, we see here that there's a medium chance of overnight rain during partly cloudy spells. Tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be about 23 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open water. And tomorrow being Friday, sun is expected to rise at around 6:31 a.m. and set at 5:59 p.m. The weather for Friday is expected to be partly cloudy with a few light morning showers, improving in the afternoon. Now, the maximum temperature is expected to be about 30 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And that's your weather for Friday. And before we go our separate ways, I would like to say hello to a few people who are currently on the program. We have Trevelyn, we have Charmaine, we have Veronica, we have Helen, we have Hazel, we have Gloria, we have Ala, Sam, we have Charmaine, we have Melly, Hermelin, Nika, Scott, Kiwani, my mom and my sister. We have Patsy, we have Asha, we have Ebony, we have Rolanda, we have Adore, Irma, and Anne and Carolyn. So folks, there are some of you who have not yet shared the program. I would like to invite you to please share the program. You see, when you share the program, that is how other people get to know that we are live. Okay, folks? So if it's what's your time, I would like you to please share the business. Okay? We have Naomi. We have Samantha. If you want to start back, you know what you need to do. All right. We have Abigail and we have Eunice. We have so many of the folks as well. Rolanda, pick up your whole self, right? All right. Good. Raven and Shireen, my timekeeper, and Deslin is with us as well. Okay. So you have to continue to interact on the program in order to maintain your top fan badge. If you don't interact on the program, you go lose out, you know what I mean? And I have no control over it. Facebook has a whole new scheme right now, and they are the ones who are in fact managing the badges. So please understand, it is not me. Hold nothing against me. All right, good folks. Again, I'd like to express my appreciation to you for viewing on the program. Those of you who are on YouTube, we also say thank you for viewing on YouTube. We've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got Digicel, the My Digital app. We also have WPG10, and for those of you who are viewing via WPG10, we want to express our appreciation to you as well. Someday we will be find ways of interacting with you. All right, as technology improves, we are sure that we'll be able to communicate with you a little even more. All right, so folks, again, thanks to you, and may God richly bless you and your family. Let's do this. All right, we are going. Are you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say, ja. No. Good night, everyone. God bless you.